So it's been 6 months for most of us since shelter in place started. Let's rewind the tape. Let's do some forensics and see where are you at, where are we at collectively with everything that's gone on. Shelter in place, being by ourselves way more than normal, or being confined way more than normal, more than we're used to, almost a sense of isolation. Because then when there is a way to go out or a little more leeway, I don't know about you, but I've almost been a little paranoid just to go out and do something outside, maybe at a store or something like that. And then the isolation, I've also noticed, has turned into, I'm gonna call it like a chronic loneliness, where it just feeds on itself and the days blur together into the weeks and the months, and most people I talk to can't even believe the holidays are right around the corner. And then this chronic loneliness takes a dark turn often into like a hostile or an aggressive isolation where people are pushing back and pushing people away. I have experienced this on the receiving end from people I love at times over these last 6 months, and maybe you have too. And if you haven't experienced it on the receiving end, check in, because maybe you've been on the giving end of the hostility or the aggression in the isolation, pushing people away, not wanting to be around people, sabotaging friendships or relationships for the sake of staying in a very small, controllable zone in your own house or in your own headspace. Now, neuroscience tells us that chronic loneliness is just as dangerous as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day, because it distorts our perception, our ability to accurately perceive who we are, who we're with, our surroundings, and that's very dangerous for our physical as well as mental health. If we can't perceive accurately who we are and what's available, what resources are available, what's possible, what's not possible, we can't adapt. We can't take care of ourselves the way that we need to. And maybe even more dangerous, we can't invite other people into our lives to help fill in the gaps for the things we need or can't quite do for ourselves in those moments. It leads to rumination, which is a replaying over and over and over again of negative thoughts, of dark thoughts, and it creates a spiral in the mind. And that's also dangerous for our health because it increases our anxiety. It triggers our stress mechanisms. We lose our ability to sleep well. So a lot of things are all attached to the way that we all tend to relate to the circumstances that we're in. Antidote for rumination: just distract yourself for 2 full minutes. Go do squats or something. Do something good for yourself. 2 full minutes. It'll help interrupt the cycle. But start to notice for you if your loneliness or your isolation has turned hostile, aggressive, or dark. And if you can't recognize yourself in this description, maybe ask a friend or two what they've noticed. And if no one immediately comes to mind, maybe you've pushed a lot of people away in this season. And if that's true, you might be depressed on top of the anxiety and the stress. And if that's the case, then the good news is you can identify it and you can reach out for help. You can call someone, you can get some exercise, you can go outside and get some sunshine. There are a lot of things you can do to address it once you identify it and recognize it. So if you've been in denial this whole time, it's okay. You're human. We like denial as human beings. It helps us cope sometimes. But over time, it can be really dangerous. So if you find yourself relating to any of these descriptions, the good news is you can identify it, you can own it, and then you can move from there. You can do something about it. There's a huge difference between loneliness and solitude. And that difference has everything to do with the internal peace that you feel. In loneliness, there's not going to be any peace. There's going to be a yearning and an unsettling and often an anxiety and a depression. But if you're just enjoying solitude, you'll know, because you'll experience peace and joy and freedom. If you recognize yourself in any part of this video, leave a comment, hit the like button. Let's have a conversation about it, because you're not alone.